Hey guys, welcome to Dinner in a Dungeon episode 2, a D&D5E cooking adventure using the Dragon Stew rules. I'm still APGamingREAL, and I'm joined by these three other individuals. What did I cook this week? Let's just talk about what I cooked today. Today, I made ham salad by dicing ham and then running that through a blender, adding in blended celery, herbes de Provence mustard, which is Grey Poupon with extra herbs, French style, mayonnaise, pickled relish. The specific style of relish I used was the India relish, if you care about that. And then mixing it all together and stuffing it inside a Costco croissant, which if you don't know what those are, they're like 3 fists long. Those are some hefty boys. Followed that up by making TikTok pasta. If you're from the future, you know, in like 3 or 4 weeks, you probably don't have any idea what I'm talking about. I don't have any idea what I'm talking about. My mom saw this on like the Washington Post about this basic pasta recipe on TikTok that's really popular. So I roasted some tomatoes and a block of feta cheese with garlic in the oven for 40 minutes. Then I broiled it for 5. I forgot to mention I added olive oil and of course salt, pepper, and a metric F ton of crushed red pepper. Threw that over some tagliatelle and served it. Good enough for me.
I've heard roasted feta is like the new thing, and I kind of want to try it.
You know, I actually don't like feta cheese, but the roasted feta was not bad with the tomatoes to provide the sort of sweet tanginess to counter the crappiness of the feta.
A little bit of acid.
Yeah.
But if I like feta, do you think I would like the
Would
roasted
you like
feta?
roasted feta? Yeah, I think it enhances the good parts of feta and takes out the bad parts.
I think I like all that parts.
It doesn't melt. Feta is one of the cheeses that does not melt, much like
you would be surprised.
It's why you can't make, or it's why you can make, I should say, like Parmesan crisps and things like that. I mean, I shouldn't say it doesn't melt. It does a little, but it still can hold its shape a bit, right?
Okay.
Did it hold its shape, or what did it like?
Oh no, I don't know whether it was holding its shape or not. When I pulled it out of the oven, I smashed it all with a mashed potato masher.
Okay.
Smashed everything together so that it would run. You know, normally when you make a tomato sauce, you'd start with tomato paste and you'd add crushed tomatoes and smash them up and then let it boil the skin down. But you know, there was no tomato paste involved in this, so it required a lot of extra mashing. Spoonick, any projects to announce? Anything you've cooked that you would like to talk about?
Yeah. So my wife actually has been quite the chef so far this week. On Monday we had 2 of our very close friends over. She made a venison stew. Now, if you saw the picture that I posted in the food channel on your Discord, we had some of that leftover orecchiette pasta that I had made, and we actually put the venison stew on top of the leftover pasta, which was magnifique. And tonight she did something. I don't know where she found this recipe, but you know, Aldi has some shelf-stable potato gnocchi that's actually quite good. You know, you can easily make your own gnocchi, but on a weeknight, it's nice to just pull a package out of the pantry and use it. But it was actually roasted gnocchi on a sheet pan with kale and kielbasa sausage, onions, you know, some crushed red pepper, olive oil, spices, and it was delicious. Like, I got seconds of that. Roasting gnocchi, you know, you get like these little charred bits on it that were just fantastic. So you'd have like a crunchy but soft and chewy pasta. God, it was good. It was really, really good. I told her that we've been watching Stanley Tucci's Searching for Italy, which I highly recommend. It's a fantastic.
Highly recommend.
Highly. Stanley Tucci is a national treasure, and everyone should want to hang out with him. And we've been watching it on Hulu. I think it's on CNN or something. But I told her when she was making, I got home from work today and she told me what she was doing. I told her that Stanley Tucci would be very sad that we were cooking gnocchi in an oven and not in a pot of boiling salted water. But I ate my words as I ate that meal because it was delicious. The kale got crispy. Like some of it was actually like burnt black, but with kale and with a lot of vegetables, when you get those black bits on them, they just become super sweet and umami flavored at the same time. It's crazy. It's so good. So, yeah, that's what we've had.
It's been a while since I've had to put on my sellout glasses. Let me just say, when you're speaking of your wife, Jillian, you're talking about the blogger Refashionista, who you can find at refashionista.net. That's who we're talking about, just to be clear?
That is exactly who I'm talking about, yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Yes, you can. She her thing is that she goes to a thrift store and will not spend more than $1 on a piece of clothing, and she will upcycle it into something quite fashionable and trendy and awesome. And she's been doing it for over 10 years now, and has been on things like the Rachel Ray Show and Good Morning America and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah.
Perfect. You know, speaking of people who may have projects to announce and or food that they've cooked this week, Conorhughes.
I have no food, but I would like to give a shout out to one of the YouTube channels I watch sometimes about food, and that is foodwishes.com. And you go to Chef John with foodwishes.com.
Enjoy.
I just love his cadence mainly. It's very relaxing to watch, and yeah, he's done a few good dishes. I think I've done something with like this. It's like a holiday corn thing, and I made that for a few gatherings, and it's been pretty easy to put together, and it's been pretty good. It's kind of unique. It's like a corn kind of meal with cayenne pepper on top, and it's pretty tasty. Other than that, projects. We launched Galarian on Kickstarter last week, and it's been going really well. It's blowing up, so we're really happy with that. That is a comic project if you're curious, and you can check it out on Kickstarter.com. And that's it for me. Unfortunately, I haven't really. I mean, you know me, I don't really cook much, but yeah, it's been even a more minimal cooking week this week than normal because we've been eating out a little bit more than we might. So we've been a little guilty.
Hey, listen, there's nothing wrong with going out to eat. Nowadays, that's what's keeping the economy floating. So.
Yeah, well, I mean, we go for like Wendy's and things like that. So
Wendy's, Conorhughes, we need to have a talk.
I do like Wendy's.
Stream.
I'm an Ohio boy. I like Wendy's.
Yeah, I like Wendy's. I mean, they have good burgers. I'm not sure their fries are as good as other brands, but like Burger King has better fries probably. But
dip those fries in the Frosty, and they're the best fast food fries you've got.
we don't get the Frosty.
I hate you.
It's so good.
You're dead to me.
You can say that, but you gotta try it.
I wanna be clear. I started hearing about this when I watched The Arrow, because in like season 2 through season 5 of The Arrow, all of a sudden out of nowhere, every character on the show was like, you know what I love? Dipping hot American fries in my cold American milkshake. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I've never even heard of this before.
I didn't get that.
Everybody did it. It was like every episode they were like, you know what I love doing? Dipping hot fries in a cold milkshake. And I was like, this is disgusting. I hate it.
It's that whole savory sweet mixture, you know, like salted caramel or something. It's so good. I
strongly oppose this practice.
It sounds a bit like to me
the harshest of words. I dropped the one F-bomb. We get the whole episode on that. That's how you know how serious I am.
Merc Drake brought up a childhood memory. A&W.
A&W's fun. A&W root beer is pretty legit.
Gimme.
The audience is opposing me. Damn you, audience!
Yeah.
I mean, the fries with Frosty sounds a bit like a fried Oreo. You know, it's a bit of that kind of jam where like these things don't really go together, but maybe they do.
Yeah,
I have had that, and it's pretty good.
A fried Oreo makes my heart want to stop.
Yeah, I mean, there's that too, but
so
So would fries in a milkshake. I would think.
Not as much though. It feels somehow healthier. I don't know why.
Somehow healthier. Yeah. I mean, there's certain like liquid content to a Frosty that helps things go smoother.
I mean, Frosties though, they're almost like it's almost like a shit. What's the Dairy Queen thing? It's almost like a Blizzard, really, right? It's not as liquidy as a normal milkshake. It's a little thicker, I think.
Yeah, it's almost like a harder version of soft serve ice cream.
Yeah.
Sorry, a softer version of soft serve ice cream.
No, harder version of soft serve.
You think it's harder? Okay.
I think it's a little thicker than soft serve.
It's thicker, but it's also more liquidy, I guess. Like it's thick, but also liquidy.
I gotta be honest with you. It's been like 10 years since I had a Frosty. Do you drink it with a spoon, or I mean, drink it with a straw?
Yep.
They might give you a thick straw nowadays. You know, they've been doing that lately.
You get a straw and a spoon.
Oh, that's right.
God knows.
Cotton with the safe.
Yeah.
I have like 6 fast food restaurants here. Wendy's is one of them.
What are your five other options?
Burger King, Arby's, McDonald's, Runza, and Taco Bell.
Yep.
Runza.
I'm thinking Arby's.
What is
Runza is a Nebraskan fast food place.
Okay.
What are
Serves
they?
German food.
Really?
Well, it serves hamburgers and like a German and American smush. So it serves hamburgers, and their main selling point is a Runza, which is like a cabbage roll, beef and cabbage roll.
That sounds good.
That sounds amazing. Do they have like
Runza's
Spätzle and
pretty
stuff like that too?
No,
Oh. Sad noises.
pretty much it's just the Runza, and then they have some German seasonings, but heavy on the American German influence, though.
Interesting.
Rob in chat, he was talking about Arby's. I've had nothing but bad experiences with Arby's.
Have you does anyone remember the Simpsons episode? I think it was probably back in the 90s, and it's their satire version of Lord of the Flies, where the school bus crashes and the kids are all on the island and they're all starting to get hungry, and the two twins, I think their names are Sherry and Terry, they say, everyone's saying all these gross things they could eat, and all the kids are like, ew, ew. And one of the twins goes, I'm so hungry, I could eat at Arby's. And it gets the worst reaction from all the kids. They're all like, ah, it's so good.
Was it Jon Stewart who had a long-running gag on the Daily Show about Arby's?
I think so.
And when he retired, he was like, I don't know why I've made fun of Arby's for 20 years.
That sounds
It's perfectly
familiar.
fine. I actually like Arby's.
My wife loves Arby's, but she says every time she eats it, she realizes that it was a mistake, but she loves it. She can't.
I mean, I think the thing about Arby's is that it's probably the most upscale fast food restaurant among the fast food restaurants. I feel like it offers higher quality meats and sandwiches. It
is our fanciest fast food restaurant.
Yeah. I mean, it is the slowest fast food that you can get.
It's very slow.
That is very true.
Speaking of people who eat Arby's, Cotton, do you have any projects to announce or any food that you've cooked? Or at this point, I'll just take anything interesting you've eaten in the last week. That's fine too. That's where we've gone to.
I cooked. I cooked Hamburger Helper, but I cooked, and it's been a while.
Good enough for me.
The Hamburger Helper is so good.
You have surpassed 50% of college males.
I've cooked a lot of things. I've made my own bread. I've cooked soup from, bone broths all the way up. My proudest cooking achievement is when you take a Totino's pizza and you make pizza rolls and you put them in the middle, and you take another Totino's pizza and you put it on top and you eat it like.
Cotton, what I have to say is that pizza in the morning, pizza in the evening, pizza at supper time. When pizza is on a bagel, you can eat pizza anytime.
Yes.
That's what I know.
Contrarily, you could eat pizza anytime anyway, right?
I suppose.
When I was
a New Yorker.
When I was a chef, my mom was visiting me one time, and she was going through my refrigerator, and she opens up the freezer, and there were so many boxes of bagel bites. And she was like, why are there so many why? She's like, You work at like a high-end restaurant. You could make anything that you wanted. Why? I was like, I spend 12 hours a day making food for other shitty people. I don't want to come home and have to cook all this crap and then clean up after that. No, I want bagel bites. I cook them in the toaster oven, and when they come out, I put Texas Pete hot sauce on it, and it's amazing.
I had the same conversation with my mom maybe 8 to 10 weeks ago when I had a box of bagel bites.
They're so good.
Yeah, they are an excellent substitute to making your own pizza. So, Cotton, what kind of hamburger helper did you make?
I made Italian cheese and shells.
Good enough for me.
It wasn't very good.
Ooh, not good enough for me.
I don't know if it was the actual box, or it's just because I hate everything now.
Wow.
I did eat a whole jar of pickles the other day, though.
Okay, well, that's in character.
Pickles
Yeah.
are still good.
It's right on the list of menu for things pregnant people eat.
What kind of pickles? I mean, pickles come
Zesty
in a
pickles.
range.
It's got to be
Yeah.
zesty.
All right.
So there's a deli around here. It's Joe Biden's local deli. You can go get the Joe Biden sandwich, but when they're not doing that, they've got like 18 different kinds of pickles. And I've been working, I've had 6 different jars of them. When I say jar, we're talking like this big.
Big, yeah.
And so after you're done with the pickles, what you do then is you take a whole onion and you just slice it up and put it in the leftover pickle juice to pickle the onion. I've only made it 6 of the 18, but I'm telling you, I'm going to get through the other 12 eventually. Right now, I'm working my way through Philly deli style.
What's your favorite pickle flavor so far?
And throw
Philly
some
deli
hard-boiled
style.
eggs. Throw some hard-boiled eggs in that pickle jar when you're done,
You
too.
know, me and hard-boiled eggs don't get along. It's the shell afterwards. I just can't get rid of it properly.
You don't eat the shell, though. Take the shell all the way off,
Yes,
and then you eat
thank you. I've never had a hard-boiled egg before, so I had no idea that taking the shell off was so important. No, it's getting the shell off that's the hard part,
it.
Sputnik.
Well, sure, of
Have you
course.
put it in an ice bath right after you pull them out?
I've done it in 7 or 8 different ways. I've done the you spoon it, you shake it. I've done you put it in a bowl and you roll it. I've done the careful carve. I've done the hammer smash. I've done the you roll it on the table like this. Nothing works.
Have you tried just peeling it?
But it's still, you get like one thing of it stuck, like one thumb-sized piece stuck, and then you pull it out and it brings out a chunk with it, and you're like, oh.
Is it like nails on a chalkboard for you?
Have you poked a pinhole in it?
No.
That is Julia Child's advice. You poke a little pinhole in it. Take a pin, boop, in one end,
Julia
and then
Childs
boil
does
it.
know a lot about cooking.
But seriously, throw some hard-boiled eggs in your leftover pickle juice, and you'll have a pickled hard-boiled egg, and it is...
I'll think about it.
I recommend
Really
pickled
good.
quail eggs.
Oh,
I don't know that I've ever had quail eggs.
I'll pickle quail eggs from one of his friends, and they're so good.
yes.
Do they taste much different than regular eggs?
Yes.
No. Okay.
We need to
They're
talk
almost
At least
sweet.
pickled they do.
Yeah.
about, what is it called that I had one time? 1,000-year-old egg?
Oh, no.
Oh, century egg.
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
1,000-year-old. Oh, yeah, it's called century egg. You're right.
No.
I've had that before.
I haven't had that.
It's crazy. All right. We could talk about food the whole time, but instead, let's talk about D&D food. Who remembers what happened in the last episode?
So we were in this area, and there were pillars, and you enter pillars to gather resources. There's a fallow moon. My notes are so disjointed.
Fallow Moon is the name of the town you left from.
Oh, okay. Fallow moon. It rains every 5 days there.
Yep.
I have no moon?
Correct.
Question mark.
Oh, true. The Fallow Moon no longer has a moon or stars in its sky.
There's someone named Patches O'Toole.
Patches O'Toole is the name of your provisioner. Technically, it's
Right.
called a settler.
Porter's Goal. I don't remember what that means.
Porters are people who haul things for you. So at some point, you need to get people to enter the dungeon with you to haul your stuff. It should be
Gotcha.
noted, Wolfgang Truck, that your father is a porter captain. He's always, I believe,
I'm gonna write that down.
we haven't talked very much about your backstory, but from a discussion that we had, my understanding is that your dad is like, you should get out there and do some hard work. Stop cooking dishes, Wolfgang. Be more like your old man.
Yep.
So today is the morning of the third day of your arrival. You have woken up. I believe your stated objective today is to hunt eggs down. And you also are 7 days away from completing your dried herb collection. They're drying out right now. And you were traveling in a generally northeasterly direction following a venomous butterfly's advice to go see something called Roxanne.
Correct.
You also encountered an owlbear, and despite the fact I described bones of wolves being outside, Cayso really wanted to go outside and see what the hubbub was about, but everybody else convinced him that was a bad idea.
Cayso's a very curious fellow.
You also have a bunch of leftover ant meat from when you found a giant ant that was covered in some sort of white flaky substance that may or may not have been very bad.
Right.
So
We also have 3 ounces of lye.
that's true. You did finish your lye recipe. The 3 of you are waking up. Morning is a little late for you because normally you'd wake up with the sun, but you need to take longer watches to accommodate the fact that you have less people.
Right.
So the sun has already risen some amount by this point. The forest looks calm around you. It seems to slowly be adapting to your presence. Wary, animals still flee from you. You've always got this omnipresent feeling that something is watching you. Given the amount of hunter animals around here, that shouldn't be surprising. But it's... Oh, thanks for that Twitch sub. It's you, Sputnik! I should have anticipated it. Right, just interrupt right in the middle of my description. The weather looks like it is good now, from what you can see through the tree cover above you. What do you all want to do?
Hey, folks! I think if we head out early enough, we can reach that Roxanne thing that the butterfly was talking about. Good
Oh,
time.
that's right. I forgot about that. Maybe we should have followed the butterfly.
Yeah, I think it was a little late for that. I think we missed out on the butterfly. We'll catch up.
I was told always to trust the ranger, so I believe you will lead us in the correct direction.
Sounds like it was a ranger that told you that.
Probably.
Well, I mean, I can guarantee you it's a bit difficult for me if I get lost in these woods, but I mean, I don't know if you should follow me.
I'm pretty sure we followed you the whole way here.
Well, I did. I led the way, but we're all going in the same. You're not following me as such. We're all going in this direction.
We're going in the direction that you're leading because we don't know where to go.
Well,
so
I
that's
know.
following.
I know that we're going northeast. That's where we're following we're following the butterfly, I suppose.
We don't know which way the butterfly went.
Well, it went off.
He could have turned.
It's true. That is possible, but see, didn't he say something about? I mean, you spoke with the butterfly, so
Yeah.
it said something about a northeast direction. Is that right or what?
No.
No.
It never said to go northeast. It's you asked it to lead you,
Yeah.
and it's immediately flew northeast, and then you stood around and talked for a while it continued to fly.
It flew off in a direction after I asked us where this thing was,
Oh, okay.
but never really mentioned it. I don't even know if it agreed to help, to be honest.
Well, it's a direction. It's a cardinal direction, and that's useful enough just to get our bearings in the area. We'll find something eventually.
I'm sure there will be something that we can see that might be useful for the first competition.
Other than questionable ant meat.
Well, you must be adventurous sometimes with your cuisine.
Are you feeling all right?
No.
No? What?
No.
What's wrong?
I'm fine.
You're fine?
Trying to find my accent again. I sound French, and I don't know why.
That's all right.
I know about accent wandering. Trust me.
Nah.
Can I see if Oolong makes some breakfast tea?
Yeah, Oolong will definitely make some breakfast tea for everybody.
Do you guys want some tea?
Oh, yes, I do. Thank you.
I would like some tea.
Has a rich, buttery flavor to it, on top of like a hint of apple with some cinnamon.
Wow, wasn't expecting that. That's delicious.
It's got that thing that tea does where you drink it and like 2 minutes later you're like, my bones are warm, even though it's cold outside. This is great.
Oolong
Perfect
gets
tea.
pretty fancy with his teas. He's a right proper chef.
So
I will say
Tea.
he does quite well with this tea.
when you're talking about Oolong, you've given him a large feather, and he is still using it to pretend that he's a dragon with wings. He's doing that by clutching it almost as if it's an underfin and doing loops in the air. But he does that thing where he runs out of steam. He can't make the full loop because the feather's too heavy. So it's like one of the pirate ship rides at a theme park. You know, like it goes whoop whoop. That's Oolong right now. He can't make a full loop to loop.
He sure is precious.
Oolong makes happy small dragon noises before returning to his customary water skin for travel.
I guess you see Cayso get up and he's sort of gonna say, well, I'm gonna look around. When you guys are ready, we'll head out.
That sounds good.
Are we continuing into the same direction?
Unless you feel like going in a different direction.
No, I am good. As I say, I follow the ranger.
Well, I'm just taking this in that northeast direction of the butterfly. We'll see if we find anything curious that way.
And Arthur, I can't remember. I may have asked this last week. Is there a thing I need to do to keep my eyes peeled for more herbs or scavenging materials? Or
So what's happened so far is you all have been traveling about 18 miles a day. You would normally travel a bit faster, especially with the ranger, but you're moving at a slow pace to allow you to forage as you go.
Right. Okay.
So let me ask survival check from Cayso, who is leading you. And then if you want to look for herbs and such or new things, please also make a survival roll. And Ono, what are you doing while this happens?
Can I look for interesting looking things?
Yes, please make a perception check.
Did I just find all the things?
Well, what did you roll?
A natural 20?
I rolled a natural 22.
Wow.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Okay. That's pretty good. Okay.
Pretty good, he says. It's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, you could have done
Or two now.
a little better.
Survival check, whatever.
Okay. So for the folks at home, Cotton does have an Oolong picture, but she's working on improving the Oolong picture. And based on the rules of the WIP, I can't share it until it's done. All right.
You can share that one because I'll just redraw it completely on the
Nope.
computer.
We're not sharing it
Okay.
until it's done. All right. So let me see. These cameras are not correct, but they're more correct than they were last time. Let's see here. I feel like we can definitely finish that up. Welcome to the battle overlay, where you get to see everybody's roles and their temporary tokens while I work on finding an artist to make these artists' art. Oh, the irony does not escape me, Conorhughes, and yet I've been here before.
I'm in the middle of my I got a frame down the middle.
No, I'm working on it, man. We're working on everybody. We'll get you.
Yeah, I see that now.
Okay.
We're new here.
Even me, I also have to fix.
Like, I think I was the only one that was done so far.
Yeah, I gotta work on. I'll try and
There we go.
work on Cayso.
All right.
Draw a stick figure, so.
Now, do you get advantage on your survival check? I don't think
No, I
it's
don't
to
believe
move
so.
around.
I just looked it up.
Okay, so it's a rough voyage journey today for you all, but you do get a little extra something out of it. What can I offer you? Wolfgang, as your group is traveling, Cayso seems to be having a little bit of trouble. The ground is much rougher than what you're used to in the very flat, stamped down fallow moon. And he's trying to lead you, the two of you, on the best possible path, which involves a lot of weaving. You spend as much time going sideways as you do going forward to go around large rocks, try to navigate best between hills. Of course, it's a forest, so there's trees everywhere, which definitely is slowing things down. As this happens, you almost trip over a large rock, and as you do, the rock shifts. Curious, you put a hand down to lift it up, and there is, I would say, like, the rock is perfectly balanced, right? It's a very large rock, but you're able to move it, and you can see, now that a little bit of light shines down in that darkness, that there are thousands of palm weevil larvae down here just waiting to sprout up. And you're like, this is a lot of food. Somebody's gonna caramelize these little suckers today.
Yeah, I will kind of scoop some in my hand, take a little whiff, notice that they're still alive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll look at the group and say, this is these are very good for protein, but funnily enough, when you cook them on high heat, I've learned that they almost taste sweet, like honey from a beehive. These we must keep. We must keep these, and we will use them. You must trust in my process.
So with 20 minutes worth of work, you can get 30 pounds of palm weevil larvae.
Holy jeebus.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You can divide that into 120 meals worth of larvae. It will self-fry, and from there it will self-caramelize, but they can be eaten raw, still warm and wriggling.
I mean, okay, so I'm adding 30 pounds of larvae. What kind is it again?
Palm weevil? So you've actually, I think you already had a handful of this, but you might have eaten them already.
Yeah.
Now you got a stash here. This is the good stuff.
30 pounds. Holy Jiminy.
Oh no.
Do you like how I'm not trying to swear?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it a lot, since I already used our F-bomb for PG-13 rating. Oh no. You notice that every time you get near water, no one else is picking up on it, but there are those feathery eel frogs that you've seen before. You occasionally see them in the water, not following you, but they briefly follow you down whatever river you go near before letting you go away. They seem to be very interested in your group, but you only see them in individual amounts, and occasionally you see a green one following you in between the trees, just behind your group at a great distance. Normally it's behind you, and at some point it's downwind of you, so you wouldn't be able to smell it.
Have you guys been noticing our friends following us?
Do we?
Make a perception check, Cayso, Hamhand.
Yeah. I would hope the ranger is keeping an eye out.
12. No. You look around real quick, left, right. Maybe you even do an up. You don't see anything following you.
I didn't smell anything. Haven't seen anything. Why? Have you?
Yeah, those water walking creatures we saw before. They keep coming up and down this river. And there's even a green one that follows us through the woods.
So, Oh no, you point to a tree where it's wrapped itself around, and its natural camouflage makes it look almost like it's a vine on the tree. The other two look at it and you're just like, I don't see anything. That's just a tree.
Can I attempt to talk with animals with it?
You're gonna cast Speak with Animals?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you want to say to it?
Hi there. Understand me?
Yeah, man.
Sorry.
So for the
I'm
for
right
the,
there with you, Cotton. That's good.
for the two of you, all you hear is a like noise.
How you doing up there?
Good, man. How about you? You good?
I'm good.
Good. Chilling. Warm up
Do you
here.
want to come join us? Is that what you're doing?
Keeping an eye on you, you know?
Are you wary of us?
Yeah. You scary.
Oh, I don't mean to be scary.
Most scary things don't want to be scary.
We could just be friends and then I'll be less scary.
It blinks slowly with a lizard brain level of intelligence processing that. Make an animal handling check. Wow, 20.
Oh,
Okay,
so
never mind.
good.
Okay, so the two of you suddenly see a piece of the tree fall. Like a vine just falls 10 feet to the ground and then skitters towards you. And you're wondering how a like 10-foot long creature managed to hide itself from you at that kind of distance. But it crosses like 40, 50 feet to you almost in an instant. It just stays outside of what would be human comfortable speaking range, maybe like 7, 8 feet along the ground. You notice this thing is probably big enough that you could ride it if you had a saddle that was made for it. But it stays low to the ground with all 6 of its legs, and it makes a noise and goes, "Yeah, you seem cool."
What do you like to be called?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Green.
It's a good name.
Yeah? How are
Yeah.
you?
I like to be called Komomo.
Okay.
This is Cayso.
All right, you get the feeling you're rushing things a little fast for this creature. Because again, while you can communicate with it, that does not impart to it greater intelligence. And it has
Yep.
an intelligence of 3. So it's a little rough.
What do you like to eat?
Oh, yeah, like leaves, bark, insects, grass, good water. What do you like to eat?
I like to eat a lot of things. A lot of the things you listed are things I like to eat.
Okay. So for the rest of you, there's a lot of like deep riveting noises, and then it slowly nods its head up and down at the end of whatever she said. Should be noted that Komomo is making similar riveting noises as well right now.
Are you gonna come with us then?
Yeah, I could come with you for a time. Yeah.
I'll turn to the group and speak normally and say, "This is Green. He's our friend now."
Gonna wave, say hello. I agree.
We'll sort of bow and say, "Welcome to our team."
Yeah, I don't think he can understand any of that.
Oh.
You gotta like, and then she just starts riveting again.
I'll try to rivet as well, but hopefully it doesn't offend him.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't get any closer to you, but when you leave, he maintains like the exact distance behind you, just following you. There's a lot of sniffing involved.
Does he smell bad?
Oh yeah, he smells exactly like what you would expect given how Cayso smelled. It's actually a different smell. So when Cayso got run over, he was run over by by blue-skinned ones. Well, technically like blue scale-feathered ones. This one is green, and it has a more deep, musty pine odor to it. It's not good, but it's also different.
It smells like my father after working out in the wilderness.
Smells of deep earth, deep earth.
Yeah, very, very deep earth.
So, Cayso, one thing you're noticing is that this animal has the same type of training you have as a ranger to pass through this forest unimpeded.
Okay.
It is having no problems maintaining a pace with you.
Given that, yeah, okay. But and also given that like it can camouflage actively in the forest, I'm not too surprised. Does it seem like maybe this creature came from a different area than the other ones we're heading off to? Does it seem like a different kind of the same species?
Make a nature roll.
All right.
What an excellent question.
At -1, we'll see how it goes. Oh,
17. Yes, you
good for a
have
negative
begun
one.
to suspect that these creatures, their colors might be tied to their environment, and that
Okay.
you might be able to find. You extrapolate. You might even be able to find other colors in different environments around here.
As we're traveling, I'd like to be collecting the insects that he like described as
Okay.
the things that's one of the things I'd like to.
Oh, he
be
just
collecting.
said insect. Period.
He just said insects.
Yeah.
So I got an eye out for
He doesn't
things that I
differentiate
think,
between them. He just likes things that insect like.
things that I'm gonna look around for things that maybe he might like.
I'm so glad you said that because your roll wasn't good enough to avoid an encounter at this time. So allow me to describe how all of you, except for Cayso, are slightly confused when you begin hearing the drone of wings. I would like you to place yourselves in whatever formation you use.
Let's see.
Am I the guy with the cape?
Each of you should be able to control one of
Which
these.
way is like forward?
Forward is northeast, so upper right-hand corner.
Okay. I just assumed that I might be in the front or something.
Okay.
Do that.
You should be in front.
I'm
the way
probably
we
in the
described
back.
this.
Momo's been lollygagging the whole time, so
Lollygagger on this stream?
yeah.
Never.
Unbelievable. All right. So
What are my hit points? 15.
I would like your passive perceptions, everyone.
15.
15.
Oh,
Actually, I think you guys all have really good passives.
Is that under skills?
Yeah, I think both Cotton and I were like, yeah, let's get some
14.
perception going this time.
We learned our lesson. We didn't just leave it up for the other person to do it.
Yeah.
So there is a beating of wings as a certain set of insects that they are basically a cross between large beetles and super large flies leap out of the undergrowth ahead of you and begin darting directly towards your group. I would like you all to roll initiative. I love the idea that Cayso turns to be like, what does he eat? And then this creature appears out of the darkness.
Oh, jeepers.
Ouch. -1 or
Hey, I beat somebody. I thought I was going to be last with my roll.
Hey, if I got to roll a 1, I'd rather it be on initiative than anything else.
there's no guarantee that your next roll won't be a 1. I've seen enough D&D to know that that's definitely not the case.
Yeah, you've probably seen how well I usually roll, so.
We got a lot of low rollers here. Cayso Hamhand appropriately You are acting first.
Yes, I figured that with the advantage on initiative rolls that the ranger gets. It's pretty sweet. All right. Well, these things seem aggressive.
They are headed directly towards you
Okay.
in a way that you've only seen from predator animals so far.
Okay. Just seems strange to fire a bow at a bunch of insects.
Don't worry, it accommodates for the fact that firing a bow at a bunch of insects won't work very well.
Okay, so then maybe I won't do that.
I'm trying to foreshadow here is that they have resistance to that kind of damage.
Clap your hands around them.
Alternative options may work better when trying to dissuade such a large group of creatures, yes.
Can I take out a torch and light one?
Absolutely.
And
would you like to use the torch as an improvised weapon?
Yeah, I guess I would.
I'll give you a 1d4 plus 1d2 fire damage as well.
Okay. Can I attack with it this round?
Yes.
Okay. So if I can reach them, I assume.
Yeah. You have enough movement to get there, I believe. It's 30 feet away.
Okay. I didn't see that. I didn't measure it out yet. Okay. We get the ruler.
So, interestingly enough, every part of this battlefield is difficult terrain for everybody but Cayso and the flying insects. So...
Okay, so I guess I'm tanking this thing.
Why is it difficult?
Half speed? Is that it?
Yes, half speed. Why is it difficult terrain? Because everything here is completely wild, like overgrowth below your feet. Okay. Rocks. Nothing is flat.
Oh, crimey. I don't even know what my speed is. I think my speed is 35. Does that sound right?
That does sound right for a barbarian, but we'll see. All right, go ahead and make your attack.
Is it, you said +2? Or is it...
No, it's just a regular melee attack for you, and it deals... Okay. If it hits, it's 1d4 bludgeoning plus 1d2 fire. As you, like, wave a flaming torch. Yep, okay, so roll a d4 plus a d2. I'll take a look at how that does. Okay.
Okay, 3.
Which one of those is a d4? Oh, a d4 plus... Okay, so... You will deal 3 damage total.
All right.
The creatures are startled collectively at your use of fire. And they angrily, like, form back, but then they're noticing that, like, the fire's only on one of your arms, and they can just go around it and, like, eat you from behind. Which is exactly what they do.
All right.
They don't just move, they move like this. Mm-hmm. Get in around you. Plus 3 to hit, huh?
I know someone that runs a bee farm, and they've had a similar experience like this with bees. Oh man, it sounds awful. I couldn't imagine.
So they roll past you, and several of their number like crinkle into black dust as they get too close to that club torch that you have. And these creatures' attacks are ineffectual at the moment. So I should describe how their attacks look like. They don't have whatever you call the mosquito thing, a proboscis. They don't have suckers. They're actually more like flying piranhas. So they attempt to jaggedly rip your flesh open to allow the next one to like get into your delicious human flesh. Unfortunately, they're just bouncing off your armor right now. They don't seem to have ever encountered something like this. They're not intelligent, but they are many, and at some point they are going to make their way through it.
Right.
Momo.
I can move through him, right? I can move right up there, straight up.
Something just moved through me.
My next question would be that was Thunderwave centered from. Some people have it like the line above. Some people have it on the token. How do you do it?
I don't know. I feel like this is a question we can answer using the power of the internet.
Well, it says it's it's the cube originating from you. I'm trying to find the exact word.
Yep, it does say a 15-foot cube originating from around you, so I would assume from your square.
My square?
A 15-foot aura around you. We can
So this
use
is
the power of the internet to make it look like this. So you will hit everybody but your boy Cayso.
Can I wait for him to move?
Yes. You can ready
want
that
to-
action.
As a free action, I'll say. I forgot what his name is.
Wolfgang Truck.
Wolfgang, move. And then
Okay.
I'll hold my action for him to
Wolfgang.
get out of range.
You've been told rather rude. She shoves her way past you, and I guess she begins casting a spell with her hand and her staff.
I want to go like she slides under his legs. Yelling, Wolfgang, move.
I mean,
And she starts casting
I was
magic.
gonna light my bedroll on fire and throw it at the bugs, but okay.
That's
this
a
sounds
pretty good
like a
move.
Plan.
What's your new plan?
To move. I need to get off that. I will move 10. I can only move 15. I'll move here.
Is your total movement 35?
Yeah.
I'll let
so
you move an extra square.
Okay, I'll move here.
Okay. You're still within her 15-foot radius, unfortunately.
And I will begin to light my bedroll on fire.
Okay, you pull your bedroll out and you start setting it on fire.
Yep.
Next round, you're going to have a bedroll grenade ready to go.
Ready.
Momo, unfortunately, he's still in range of your spell.
That's okay.
Oh.
Would you like to still activate it, or are you going to hold?
I hold.
Okay.
She does use her held action to glare at him, though.
Cayso,
Well, I mean, I can only move so far, right?
Wolfgang, and Momo are yelling and glaring at each other while you are left alone fighting with the flaming torch.
It's okay. I got this. They only know I got my hit my arms. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna swing this torch around. Swing this torch around.
Yep, go ahead.
All right.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's a hit. Roll your d4 plus 2.
For
Okay,
5.
so that becomes 4 damage. All right, you don't need to aim. They're in a sphere around you. It's not great. Some of them are just like crawling on your hand. You're like you're smashing them. That for everyone you kill, 2 more appear. It's not so good. Anything else you'd like to do?
No, I think that'll pretty much take my entire attention for that round. I'm sure.
Just cry.
Yeah.
Like, I'll cry.
Okay, I'm guessing that hits you.
Yes.
Okay. Take 10 points of damage as they begin slicing.
Ow.
Yeah, it's mostly at like your armpits and around your neck. There's a lot more bleeding than you would have expected.
Those are some of the worst places.
It's incredibly painful, and you get the feeling it's going to itch afterwards as well. Momo.
I step here,
Very well.
and I cast Thunderwave. He's out of it now, right?
Yep.
And I cast Thunderwave.
Yeah. You rock them like a hurricane.
It's a con save.
Does that not hit Cayso?
No.
No,
it's-
he was out of
he's
it.
out-
You
he
were
was
like
out of it.
1 square away.
Okay, I got you.
12.
I think my con save is 13.
Okay.
So they take
Do
2d8 thunder. They take 8 thunder damage.
All right, it rolls over them, seeming to do more damage than the club has done at all. The swarm almost immediately begins dissipating. They are maybe not intelligent in the way that we think of it, but they are definitely noticing that it is not great here. For you, Cayso, you turn and you're like, what was that noise? And you get hit in the face with a bunch of dead insects. They're just...
Oh man, it's like I'm driving a motorcycle.
Yeah, with no
helmet.
windshield. Yeah. Never drive a motorcycle with no helmet. Conorhughes.
But that's what
Especially
Cayso's
during
doing.
Mayfly season.
Wolfgang Trek. You have a flaming bedroll.
Yes, I will step forward. Well, how far can I throw this thing?
I feel like you could definitely hit it from there.
Okay. How should I roll?
Roll for a ranged attack, and you'll deal a d6 fire damage if you hit.
Roll for a ranged attack, he says, to a barbarian that does not have a ranged attack.
You'll take your attack bonus and your dexterity.
Okay. So dex is 13, so 1. And my attack bonus I can find where again?
I think it's a 1 for barbarian at level 1, right? Am I wrong about that?
I can never find things on these digital sheets.
I think you got
You have a +2. My apologies.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
D20 plus 2 plus 3.
Yep. You easily
17.
nail them. Those that aren't hit directly by the bedroll are licked by the tongue of the flame. Please roll a d6 fire damage.
How's a 1?
It's a little crispy. It's mostly smoke inhalation that's getting them.
It's a silent killer.
Like a warm tan, really.
It's like a warm blanket as they slowly fall asleep and choke on smoke.
Okay, so you can finally see the rest of your party when out of nowhere a flaming bedroll lands at your feet, and the grasses and undergrowth begins to catch fire as well. As does the rest of the... Like, only a small part of the bedroll's on fire, right? It's a big bedroll, and it's probably gonna smolder for quite a while. What would you like to do?
Oh, it's my turn again. Okay. I'm not feeling so great, folks. I'm gonna move out. Gonna try to move out here.
Okay.
And I'm just... What's underneath them?
A flaming bedroll.
Can I still pick it up and throw it at them?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Okay. Make an improvised ranged attack there.
Okay, same one.
Yep.
Oops, sorry.
No, you don't. You can't even get your hands on it. You're just like, all right, and then like the part that you touch suddenly bursts into flames. You're like, ah, whoa! You try to do it again. Ah!
Hot potato.
Didn't realize how warm it was. Anything else you want to do?
No, I guess not.
It is just going to continue gnawing on your deliciousness. Now, because it is reduced, it has a less... Oh, it has to move to keep up with you. Its 2 hit is still the same. Its damage is just a lot less. Is a 16 going to do it?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so almost as if the wind is pushing them to keep up with you. Like, you move away, and then several moments later, they sail past you again. In the process, you're like, you get cuts on your cheeks as they piranha their way past you. However, as mentioned, their damage is now greatly reduced.
I don't think it's going to matter. Let's see what it is.
3.
Yep. Cayso is collapses to the ground from I guess blood loss.
Yikes.
Probably shock, really.
Shock. Okay.
Momo, you watch as Cayso collapses. The bedroll near him gets kicked by his feet and kind of rolls like a foot away.
That was pretty much my only shot at helping him was that thunder wave. I'll try frostbite.
Okay.
But I think I can only target one creature. I don't know how that works on a swarm.
This counts as a single creature for the purpose of being attacked by spells.
Gotta make a con save.
Yep, okay. It will attempt to do so. 13 is your save.
13 is my save.
Okay. Is there half damage or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Because it's just a cantrip.
You try to inhibit this thing with a chill, frosty pew pew, and the creatures just almost like a Wile E. Coyote cartoon. They just form a hole that your spell flows through before coming back together again. Wolfgang, you notice Cayso like puts his hand on your bedroll. The bedroll sprouting more flame. Definitely seems like that bedroll's a lost cause.
Can I scooch over this way, by the way?
Yes.
That was it, though.
Whoa. I don't think it's a lost cause. I mean, there's not.
I mean, it's a lost cause insofar as if there was a time to put the fire out, that time has passed.
Sure.
It's definitely going to continue to be on fire for quite a while.
Is the smoke affecting the swarm at all? Much
Yes,
like maybe
they do not
bees?
like smoke.
So unlike bees that become calmer or docile, it's making them angrier.
It's not making them angrier, they just avoid it.
Okay.
They really don't seem to like heat or flame.
So, okay. So if I go 20 feet,
Sure.
will I be able to pick up the bedroll and swing it as a weapon?
Yep.
Okay.
If you fail on the attack roll, you'll instead hurt yourself when you pick it up.
I'm sure I will fail.
I believe in you. Let me ask you a question. You're a barbarian, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to use your barbarian rage here.
Oh.
We haven't seen your barbarian rage. We also haven't seen what you look like when you're raging.
So I gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws, not attacks. It's +2 melee damage. Melee? I never know how to say that. With strength weapons. So is this just like a basic strength attack and we'll add +2 damage?
Yep. And you also gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. Yep.
Yeah, let's do that. Does Wolfgang turn French when he rages? I don't know.
I thought he was Austrian, but
well, he's German or Austrian. Yeah, Austrian.
He's Austrian.
Austrian. I wonder if he turns French when he rages. That'd be weird. Oh no.
The souris, the mother sauces. That is what I bring to you, you insects.
I said a bechamel. You've given me a cheese sauce. No.
Suddenly we went Austrian.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and activate Rage, and you'll have to bear with me because this is the first time I've ever activated Rage as a barbarian because it's the first time I've ever played one.
All you need to worry about now is making a melee attack roll.
Okay.
The damage will be a d6 fire damage and then +2 barbarian damage.
So melee attack would just be the d20 +3. Yeah?
Yep. No, what's your strength?
Oh.
Because it's your strength that you roll when you roll.
My strength mod is 3, so d20 +3.
Well, you get your proficiency, so 5.
5. Oh,
Yep.
Okay, nice. Okay. 1d20 +5.
Yep, you pick it up,
17?
you swing it around. Yeah.
Nice.
Roll d6 +2 for fire damage plus untyped barbarian damage for your rage. Okay.
Holy mummy.
It's not so good.
I just,
These insects are looking pretty few and far between here, but they've got some good eats on the way. Cayso Hamhand.
And wait, and the smoke is not dispersing them at all?
It is dispersing. The murder is dispersing them. These insects are getting squashed, burned, smoked. They are very close to being less than a swarm and just a couple handfuls of insects.
So I'm just wondering, does the smoke offer any protection?
Interesting. Let me think about that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like you to make a death saving throw. As usual, if you hit a 20, you'll bounce back up. And I think just want to remind you, I believe all of you earned insight. I'm sorry, it's not called insight, it's called inspiration.
Inspiration.
Some of you have used it, some of you haven't. I haven't been keeping track. 17, you have
Mine
one
says
success.
no, so I don't think I saved mine.
One success.
Nice.
There we go. These creatures turn. I will make a roll to see if the threat of smoke and death is enough. All right. So they flee, they disengage, and they leave the area. They're injured enough that even their primitive beetle brains know that this is time to leave. So you all still have several problems. The first of which is that Cayso is still dying. The second of which is that the bedroll in your hands is still on fire. And the third of which is that the undergrowth here is now smoldering and could catch to wildfire at literally any moment.
I'll look at, gosh darn it.
Momo starts running to Cayso and she says,
Yeah.
"Put out the fire." As she runs past
Exactly. So I'll start with my large and ample feet, start putting fire out, and yeah.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
What are you doing, Momo?
I can't cast any more magic because I'm only level 1, so I will try to medicine check to stabilize
Very
Cayso.
well.
Oh boy.
I want to use my inspiration so I don't accidentally kill Connor.
Very well.
Well, he'd only kill Cayso. I'll still be alive.
Oh, that was animal handling. That was my bad.
Still 17, I'll take it.
I'll keep the roll, which is more than good enough.
Okay.
You stabilize him. Cayso, roll a d4 to see how long in hours before you wake up. Wolfgang, you get hotfoot.
Yeah.
You take 1 point of fire damage, and the fire is not put out. So you've still got the same 2 fire problems. You are holding a burning object in your hand that is slowly burning more, and you are stepping on things that are too hot for you to step on.
All right. I will use some dang intelligence. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'll just pour water out of my water skin on the fire to put it out, which is what I should have done in the first place.
Okay. Your rage ends. You come to clarity, and you're like,
Yeah. Right.
The Frenchness leaves you as you're out of good fresh water, but you no longer have an underfoot water problem. Fire problem. You still have a fire in your hit problem. I assume you've got your bedroll like under one arm. It's slowly, like a cigarette, it's burning down towards your armpit.
I crush it out on the ground where I poured the water.
Okay. Your bedroll is ruined. You have half of a nice bedroll.
I've stepped on the ground very many times. There's no big deal.
I don't suppose you have a health potion.
That I do not have.
Okay, then we're just gonna have to wait here.
Can I cook something to help speed Cayso's recovery? Or
Oh, wait. I think Oolong can do a healing tea.
He can, with 10 minutes
There
of
you
time.
go.
He can.
I'll bring out Oolong and ask him to make some tea as fast as he can.
Okay.
Nice.
He will use the last of your water to do so. Cayso, you awaken to something that tastes like warm biscuits with just a little bit of baking soda added to them, smothered in freshly cooked sausage with sage turned into a gravy.
I was really hoping you were going to say gravy.
The tea reminds you, it doesn't taste like biscuits and gravy. It just fills your mind with that. Or maybe it's the tiny worried little dragon that's on your nose beaming thoughts of biscuits and gravy into your mind using his telepathy. When you awaken and your two friends are standing or sitting over or near you, and a dragon is on your nose, and you are alive, surprisingly. Covered in wounds, but alive.
I'm gonna say something like, well, if there's any way to wake up from that, this is the way to do it. Jeez, that was rough going for a while. Do you guys get it? What happened?
When you look around, Cayso, you notice that your new friend Green is feasting on a bunch of dead insects. Just like it's something like an anteater crossed with a vacuum cleaner moving very slowly.
At least he's happy.
He did not help at all creating those dead creatures. It was mostly fire and magic.
Why did you light your bedroll on fire?
I do not have command of spells, much like you do, and also there, I had seen Cayso use some fire, so I thought that maybe it might be some help. I figured it was better than just standing there waiting to die.
Sure.
And my bedroll, it is a cheap thing. I do not necessarily need it to be comfortable while we are out in the nature.
You don't have to explain it still. It seemed effective, but it was quite alarming.
Alarming is my middle name.
Nature makes a great bed anyway. It'll be all. Yeah, I mean, we're pretty lucky in the area here. While it's rough to cross, it's not too cold, not too hot, so he'll be all right.
We're pretty lucky we didn't accidentally set the whole place on fire.
Yeah, only you can prevent forest fires, that's for sure.
Yes. He did a good job putting the fire out. At least he seemed to put it out quickly after I got you stabilized. I wasn't paying attention before that.
I had to calm down first. My temper got the best of me for a minute or so.
Well, I'm thankful anyway.
It is good to have you back in order to lead the way.
Yeah, I suppose. I might
You
take a
wanna
quick spell
rest for a bit?
Yeah, I'd like to take a look around, maybe see if there's any kind of anything I could put on these bites. In case I was going to be looking around for like kind of like an aloe plant or like kind of like.
Do you know what would be really good? If I had an herbalism kit, I bet I could make you a paste for that.
Oh, that would be handy. Well, we could always ask that funny fella back home.
Patches?
Patches, that's right.
I mean, it's not going to do you good now, but yes, in the future.
Yeah. Well, in the meanwhile, I'll make do.
Can I try and guess what kind of plants would help bug bites?
Yes. You're a druid. I feel like you can, and you've done this before specifically. I feel like you can gather this with
It
little.
was the garlic, right?
Yep.
Do we still have some of that garlic? You could just crush it up, rub it on your bites. Probably make you feel a little better. Or did you guys eat it all up?
I feel like
we-
we have some.
You definitely have some.
Plants.
You gathered a whole pouch full of garlic.
Yeah.
I think Cayso's got the garlic.
I don't think I.
No,
marked
Wolfgang
it
got a
down.
pouch of it during
Oh,
his.
did I get a pouch?
Yes.
No, I didn't write it down.
You've used some of it, but there's definitely enough here to rub on his wounds.
Okay. I did write down 23 meals of ant meat, though.
Correct. You have that remaining. Several pounds. I mean, you're hauling a lot of weight with you right now. Your backpack doesn't have that many partitions, so it's actually kind of rough right now.
Well, actually, I mean, I'm looking at 95.3. Plus, what's the weight of the garlic? My carrying max
Less
is
than
240.
1. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm good. I mean, I'm I'm a big dude.
It's not the carrying weight that's the problem. It's the where do you hold it all problem.
It's the mass.
You need like bags and sacks and stuff.
I think he's saying you can carry it, but it's uncomfortable.
I mean, you basically have a bunch of
his items.
You have a bunch of larvae sitting in your backpack.
Sure.
Anything else in there is getting, larvaed right now.
Not my hempen rope.
That might be okay. It's gonna smell like palm weevil in the morning, but
right.
Okay.
You mean delicious?
Cayso, after about 10 minutes of rubbing garlic on all your wounds, you feel a little bit better, and the itching subsides. Doesn't stop, but it's much lessened.
It's manageable.
Manageable, yeah.
I think do I have 1 HP now?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how's Green doing? Is he happy with his meal?
Oh, I don't know. I can't talk to him anymore.
Oh, okay.
He seems happy.
Can I get a read on him? Like an emotional read?
Make an animal handling check.
I'm pretty good at these.
That you should be, given your class and stated purpose in life to run a ranch.
+5, so.
15. Okay. Green seems to be settling in to follow you for a while. Happiness, maybe this creature doesn't feel it in the same way you do, but there is a sense of contentness that comes with a filled stomach with a meal you didn't have to work very hard to get.
Fantastic.
He's closer to you now. I'm not talking like within arm's reach, but he's probably moved 2 or 3 feet closer to you all to eat all the insects.
Right. Well, unless we have anything else to attend to here, we could move on. I mean, I'll limp along. Maybe we could do it the short rest, I suppose. But otherwise,
You look a bit rough.
yeah, I'm not doing great. But I've dealt with worse.
You should at least fix your hair up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I still got some of these bugs in there. I guess
And
it's
maybe wash your face off. There's bug guts all over it.
a little unsightly.
You should definitely wash your face.
We could find a river maybe close by. I could try and find one, and we could restock on water. I think we might be a little low.
Yeah. I used all my water to help Oolong bring you back up on your feet, so we didn't have to wait for a couple hours.
Well, thank you.
Seemed pretty out.
Yeah, that tea was great. Thank you very much, Oolong. All right, I'm gonna take a look around, maybe get some water, and then we can take a rest a spell.
Sit a spell.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry if that's too much. Yeah.
Okay.
The spell was just enough.
When you head down to the river, Green follows you, and you see another blue of its kind, and the two of them make ribbiting noises towards each other, like deep parumphing ribbiting.
What kind of riveting? Emotionally. Can we get an emotional read?
Make an insight check.
All right.
Can I see if they seem to be getting along or if there's about to be a fight?
You believe that these are some sort of feeling out a mating call type deal. Like, hey, you good?
Okay. So he's doing his business.
Yeah.
He or she.
Well, you have not asked either of them their genders or even what a range of genders these creatures might have.
Right, exactly. So I'm just using a pronoun.
There's a there's like a agreement the two creatures come to that, like, I'm good, you're good, like, we don't need to get together, but if you want to.
Okay.
Green stays with you after you come back with fresh water. As you take some sips from this water, it tastes unusual. There's a slight sweetness to it that natural water doesn't have. And Cayso, because you cannot be led astray by anything but magical means, you definitely detect a magical influence coming from this water. whatever the source of it is magical, and it can lead you astray.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Like,
know about
no.
this.
What I'm saying is, wherever the spring this water comes from, it will be strong enough to confuse you. Like right now, it's like the most minorest of buzzes. If you were to drink from the source, it would confound and confuzzle you magically.
Mm-hmm. This stream, this water is coming from someplace. I'd say powerful or something. You detected, Komomo?
Do I detect any magic in this water?
Make an Arcana check. You know what? Make a Nature check. That would be
Okay, I
appropriate.
like that one better.
Yeah, I thought you might like that one better. Yes, there is a powerful magic that originates from this magic. That's where the sweetness comes from. You can sense it freeing your mind of inhibitions. And I don't mean like, yeah, I want to party. More like, yeah, what are ethics and morality? Like, why do we have those things? Language, don't need it. It's not strong. It's like listening to someone talking about it in another room.
Yeah, I taste the faint magic. Magic makes the water sweeter and, calms your mind a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to definitely take note. I mean, it could be interesting to check out, but it could also be dangerous. I don't know.
Do we know where the source of this water is?
Well, we could probably follow the stream to its origin. That makes sense to me.
Uphill we go.
I mean, just keep in mind. I mean, this stuff, it could get us into some trouble. We could get lost. I normally find my way around things pretty easily, but this would definitely mess me up a little bit.
But if we follow the river, how would we be lost? The banks do not change.
Well, it's just that the source of this water, it seems, it could be tied to whatever it is that governs this plane. That's my guess right now, and it's got control of both of like the way our perceptions of this nature and this forest, and how we experience it. So it can do a lot of things with us. Let's just put it that way.
We were trying to find the butterfly.
Is the stream in the direction that we think the kind of the direction that we've been going, or no?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, well, the two are going in the same thing, so we could we're not.
I'm up for either path, but we should probably start making somewhat of a plan eventually.
Yeah, I suppose.
Plans are for the week. Yeah, I mean, I'm good with obviously continuing in the direction of the butterfly. The stream appears to be going kind of the same way. Is there something that we can?
Did that work? Yes, it did. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Is there a thing that we can do?
Well, let me ask you, Komomo. Sorry, go ahead, Wolfgang.
No, to try to I don't know, remain aware of any unnatural effects that the stream water might be having on us as we sort of go that direction.
Interesting. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
You are going to keep track of the ill effects as best you can. For the folks at home, that's a 4.
Yeah.
He's got this.
I
believe in him.
Don't worry.
Komomo, I mean, what? I mean, I don't know much about this kind of nature. How do you feel about any kind of hint as to the nature of this force that's controlling this water and maybe this plane?
No, magical water is probably not natural. Something's been watching us since we came in here as well.
That's true. So
Well,
you think?
I think it'll watch us as soon as it finds us. Last I had checked, it hadn't sensed us yet, but it is going to.
Do you think the two things are tied together? You think the water magic and whatever is watching us might be of the same thing.
AP, is there any way for me to know if the thing I sensed last time and the water are somehow connected?
I will allow you to take an hour to commune with nature, making a nature check, but it will require you to like perform a ritual, a druidic ritual.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to stop travel for the day quite early.
That's okay. So for me to know that, I'll have to like get more in tune with nature. If you want to wait around for a bit, we might have to make, which isn't a bad idea considering you look rough and you need to wash your face.
Well, I was thinking we could rest do a short rest, and is that enough time for your ritual?
I suppose, but then I wouldn't rest.
Well, we only just departed. I guess. Yeah. I guess you wouldn't rest. Do you need to rest?
I guess not, but it was just a nice thought.
Yeah. We could take 2 short rests. That's all. How long is a short rest again?
Short rest is 1 hour, and you can expend. Those of you who aren't participating in the ritual can expend hit die to recover hit points.
And how long? How late in the day is it?
Like 1 p.m.
So we could take potentially 2 hours if we wanted, and we could still travel for probably another 2 hours after that.
Sure.
So I guess Cayso was going to suggest that
All right.
kind of timeline.
Would you like to expend a hit die, Cayso?
Yes, I would.
All right, roll your.
How many do I get? Let me see if I get.
Roll your dice size. You want to get 1 roll at this.
Oh, I get 1. Okay.
Yep. So if your hit dice are like D8, you just get it like a D8.
I think I got a D10 as a ranger.
Sure. Whatever it is, you get to roll
Yeah.
it. There might even be a thing on your sheet that says.
Yeah, I'm going to poke around and see if I can find the actual.
It's almost
signature.
certainly there. Momo,
Yeah, you got a D10.
tell me what your ritual preparation is when you prepare to ask questions of nature.
I think she usually just. She hasn't got to do this a lot, but for this special occasion, she's going to spend most of it kind of trying to repair the burnt ground, like brushing away the stuff that'll prevent the plants from growing, kind of pushing the ash so that it'll fertilize the ground into the dirt.
Okay. All right. What exactly do you want to know?
I want to know if the thing I sensed earlier is dangerous and if the water is dangerous.
Make your roll.
Dang it.
You commune with nature, opening yourself up to the world around you, and you're brought in by the sounds of birds, by the sounds of things hunting and eating and dying, by the sounds of birth, by even your friends moving around you, green hovering somewhere in the background, just waiting, watching. And your mind is filled with an image of antlers from which hang moss and vines, massive antlers. You believe them to be 20, 25 feet tall and wide. And then at the center point of those antlers is a darkness. And in that darkness, 2 glowing blue orbs appear. And you get like a slight headache, like, ah! When you open your eyes again, you're back with Cayso and Wolfgang. For you, it's been a few minutes. For them, it's been an hour.
All right. I think she kind of like jumps back when she gets the headache. And then looks around to see what those 2 were doing.
Are you feeling all right? You've been down for about an hour now.
Yeah, it takes a while.
So it's a bit concerning. I've not seen that happen before.
Have you guys ever heard of a creature with massive mossy antlers glowing blue eyes.
Have we?
Like, yeah, I don't say that.
No.
Have we?
No.
This
say I have.
does not sound familiar to me. It's like a deer or a moose.
Just antlers, covered like 25 foot,
That sounds horrible.
glowing blue eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I
It could
think
be horrible. It could be good. I'm not really sure, but it's there.
I mean, obviously, it's got a little bit of the features of a deer or an elk, but I mean, I'd say probably if you said that to it, it might find it a little insulting. I don't know.
You say that it is there. It is where?
It is here somewhere.
In
this
these
world.
woods?
Perhaps at the source of the water.
I am feeling a bit more trepidatious about following the stream.
It could be over there too, and she just points in her
Oh
own
god!
direction.
Right behind you. I think I like the butterfly more than the gigantic deer.
Unless the butterfly is leading us to the gigantic deer.
I mean, it might be good if we could meet this creature and maybe to get to know it and ask its permission that we might, be taking resources and bringing them home.
It could be good. It could also be bad.
It could also be real bad. Yeah.
It could also be delicious.
No, we're not going to eat it.
Oh,
Unless it, gives
Good
us
or
food.
bad, I feel like it's not a thing to eat. Maybe.
well, I will keep my great axe close by, just in case.
So I guess we'll check it out though. We'll head off in the direction of this water.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm good.
Do you need
Okay.
a rest, Komomo? Do you want to take a moment to sit down?
Oh, that's right. I needed a rest. Yeah, we should do that.
Okay.
Doing
So
it
I
for
guess we-
spells or for hit die?
Oh, neither. She's just being lazy.
Ah. Okay. You guys take a siesta for another hour. 2 more hours of travel before the sun begins setting through the trees. Green, can you make another animal handling check, Komomo? I want to see if he decides to stick with you or not.
Nope. Probably not.
9. Okay. At some point while you're setting camp, Green has disappeared.
Oh, there goes our friend.
Yeah, he might be back. We'll see.
It's a free spirit. It does what it wants. It is okay.
As long as it's not afraid of the direction we're going.
It was nice having them around. I didn't ask that.
Write it down. That way you remember the next time you see it.
I don't have any quill or paper. Those are expensive. Or ink.
I do not have these things either. I will do my best to remember.
That
Yeah.
sounds fair.
I'll try and remember too. We could have asked her at the time when she was asking Green questions.
That would have been a good time to tell me.
Yep. At any rate, I guess I'll set up camp. Just relax. Maybe some more of that tea would be really nice.
You could ask Oolong for some.
Oolong
Okay.
can only make magical tea once a day, I think.
He can make non-magical tea and limited though.
Okay. It tastes like apples and cinnamon. It doesn't taste like sausage gravy and biscuits. Only the
This is
magic
just
can
great
make that
anyway,
happen, Cayso.
That's fine. Cayso is pretty contented with both.
Okay.
On a long rest, is that what we're doing? A long rest now?
I think we're setting up camp.
You're setting up camp.
Yeah, okay.
I'm curious as to what camp looks like and what you do tonight.
Wolfgang, or in particular, or everybody?
Everybody.
I would imagine that Cayso sort of creates a rope from the ground to a branch, and then sort of drapes a blanket over top of it, and sort of like put some leaves around, kind of masks the campsite a little bit, and then sleep underneath that.
I will. Wolfgang will go ahead and using about a pound of the palm weevils. I'm assuming we have a fire going.
Well, let's make a roll for that. Cayso, can you make a survival check real quick?
Sure.
I was gonna say I can start the fire.
Yep, don't make a roll for it. Your druid can just make that happen.
I want him to start like getting everything set up, and then I just want to cast it.
Okay.
When he like looks away for a second.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You made it just right as you were about to get the wood bow going, or your fire starter going. It's just.
Hey, this is real easy.
You did a good job.
I guess the dry wood around here is pretty dry. It's handy.
So Wolfgang will wait for. He'll take a long stick and sort of arrange the burning fire to where you have some of the wood that has burned down to coals, separate from the actual flickering flames, and he'll blow the ash off the top, and he'll take about a pound of the weevils and a handful of the wild garlic and put them directly on the coals in order to roast them for a meal.
Excellent. Everybody take inspiration.
Oh.
Do you fry them in their own fat, or do you caramelize them?
Well, I mean, a little bit of their own fat will help to caramelize.
Yeah. So it's just a length of time thing, right? They fry first before they caramelize.
I'm cooking them till they become sort of crunchy and crispy.
Okay.
Which shouldn't take too long, considering I'm cooking them directly on top of hot coals.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving around, right? Like you have to move them into and out of the hottest part of the fire on a regular basis. But yeah, everybody's got a nice set of protein, delicious finger foods.
Sweet.
They're crunchy. They're delicious. They're palm weevil larvae.
Can I like look around just the area of the camp for some like edible plants or medicinal herbs?
Yes. Make a nature check. You know what? Let's make it survival. Nature's too easy mode for you.
Oh.
Okay.
I'll say yes. Go ahead and roll with advantage, Momo.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I hit the button as soon as I heard can, and then I felt bad.
It's fine. It's fine. 21. All right, the two of you working together, you gather up some, it's not dried yet, but like rosemary and thyme and other leaf-like objects. Maybe a little bit of some fern, like an edible fern. You avoid what are probably poisonous plants, so you don't accidentally eat some poison ivy, causing all sorts of problems.
3 leaves, just stay away.
I don't want to imagine what would happen if you ate poison ivy. Oh my gosh.
I fell into poison ivy once.
Oh.
Just what? Oh, that's right. Well, I was a Boy Scout, once. So I found it way more than once.
Oh.
Well, I found it a lot, but I only fell in it once.
Oh. I only fell in it once. Well, okay, that must have been nice.
Fun.
I don't think I've ever had any interaction with poison ivy. Maybe I did and I didn't know, but
I'm just dumb, I guess.
I wasn't in Boy Scouts, so
I wasn't either.
Yeah, that's fair.
What?
After we find the herbs, I'll like tie them up above where I'm gonna sleep, like up on a branch, so they can start drying overnight.
Good.
I'll just roll out my bed roll.
Okay.
And hang out with Oolong until it's time to go to bed.
Anyone have anything else to do before bed?
I don't believe so.
Not me.
Okay.
I mean, if we could maybe fill up our water canteens again.
Yeah.
Make sure that purify the water also.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So,
Good
Cayso,
idea.
once the water has even momentarily been touched by flame, it loses the trace of magic it had.
Okay, so I'd like to do that with all of our drinking water.
Sure. You
And
make
maybe
it potable.
Yeah, exactly. Could I survival check, I guess?
No need to make a check. I assume you know how to boil water.
Okay.
It's really basic.
I can't even boil water.
No, I remember I lived in a house once with like 3 other people, and first off, that's most of the reason why I live alone now. Second off, they once left a coffee pot on for like 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And I always said after that point, they actually could not boil water without destroying the kitchen.
I've left a coffee pot on for probably 18 hours accidentally, but never 20. Never.
The pot was useless afterwards.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was totally blackened. Which is fine because I didn't drink coffee, but the whole house also smelled. Okay, so yeah, using some galaxy brain strategy, you managed to purify your water. You have 1 day's worth of clean water.
Okay, that's handy. And we had an excess of 1 day before, so I mean, which is to say, I still had some of my water, and then everyone else.
So if you have a water skin, you have 1 day's worth of water.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Does anyone have more than 1 water skin?
No.
Not yet.
Probably not.
I have
Lyra had like 6 and I miss it.
You have 1 day's worth of water.
Good to know. Okay. Yeah. Otherwise, then I'm gonna bed down.
Okay.
I guess I'll take second watch.
Sure. Again, watch orders. I don't feel like we need to micromanage this. You all get through the night with some measure of watches. Cayso takes more of them than everyone else, I assume, and is very vigilant. When you wake up in the morning of the 4th day, there is a smell that comes with the eastern wind. A smell that's kind of bittersweet, maybe even a little too sweet into the sickly zone. And with that warm wind come a flock of butterflies, all of them deep crimson red with black design outlining them.
They're all the same as the ones that we met
Each
before.
of them has a unique design, but they all appear to be from the same family.
Right. They're coming from the east.
Yes, they're being pulled by the wind.
To the west.
To the west.
just make sure I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you make of that, folks?
That's probably bad.
It's bad.
Are they flying over us?
Have you ever been to a butterfly sanctuary?
No.
Yes.
You're really missing out. I've been to several of them. It's amazing. All right. So butterflies are like flying cats. They do not move directly towards any object ever. They kind of meander around in circles before eventually settling wherever the wind takes them. They're moving towards you, but when I say towards you, I want you to imagine it looks kind of like someone sat you down with a football strategy planner, right? There's like a forward, then there's a side, then there's a loop, then there's like a back, and then there's a forward. For every 3 steps forward, there's 4 or 5 steps back, sideways, and then forward again.
But I feel like they're gonna like go.
Oh
over
yeah, for
us
sure
at
they're
some
going to
point.
go over and or near you.
We should either move or get out of the way.
She says that when they're hundreds of feet away. You look at them menacingly. The camera zooms in, and it does like rumble cam, and it plays menacing music like wee oh wee. Then you zoom out, you can barely see them at this
It's
distance.
not an emergency yet, but they do bite. And there's a lot of them. And last time you were surrounded by a swarm of insects, it didn't go well.
I agree. I mean, I definitely don't want to repeat that. Maybe we
I
can
have
go.
no more bedrolls to burn, so we must not do this again.
Yeah? Which direction did you guys want to go?
Which direction is the water going? North?
The water is going northeast.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's sort of running contrary to where they're going. So we could probably bypass them.
They're east to west. If you follow the river, you will probably avoid them.
Right.
Okay, so you're packing up camp quickly and moving before the butterflies float past you?
Yeah.
All right. In your wake, several minutes later, the butterflies float past. I think what we see is like green comes out and like 3 of them settle on him. And he just stops moving. And then like 2 minutes later, they go away. And then, you know, like he starts swelling up immediately. And he climbs up a tree. He begins making loud ripping noises immediately afterwards, as if in pain.
We gotta go help Green.
Nope,
Do you still have some garlic?
That was just the camera. None of you saw this.
Oh, I thought we saw it. Now I'm so sad.
It's not your fault or responsibility in any way. Just to be clear, there are a lot of creatures that are going to be.
I feel like it's
bitten.
my fault and responsibility at this point.
Cayso, I'd like you to make a survival check to lead the party today.
Okay.
Are you still moving at fast enough speed that you can move slow enough to forage along the way? Because like if you don't forage, you could make a little bit better time. That's what I'm saying. You could get a couple miles farther. But so far, foraging has provided you with many clutch encounters.
Right. I mean, I do like what it provides for us. I mean, how much further would we go? Like, is the difference between 20 and 30 miles, or how? What's the difference?
The difference is 18 and 24 miles.
18 and 24.
So it's a 30% increase.
And what's the terrain like that we're on right now? Are we able to see at all in the distance as to where the direction of the
hundreds
creek is
of
going?
feet? So you are moving through now, but when you came in, it was more of a low ground wetlands forest. But you've slowly been moving upwardly in the water table, more into hills. There's a lot of, you know, again, it's hills, trees, and not trees like you drive past a golf course and you're like, there's some trees. Like everything here is trees in every direction. Trees everywhere. Rocks. So no more than a few hundred feet of uninterrupted vision.
Okay. And in general, the trajectory of, I know there's a lot of questions, sorry, but
no, it's fine.
the trajectory
you want to understand the world that I'm painting for you.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying to like make a good decision, I suppose. I mean, unless everyone else wants to make a vote or whatever, that's
so
fine.
You can't, there's no visible gradient that you are moving upwardly. So you can't be like, yes, we're moving up at like 1 foot every 100 feet. Right. But when you see rivers and such, they are, instead of being almost at ground level, they're like 20 or, it's like a ravine-ish more. So the creeks are becoming real rivers with, you know, real banks on them.
I'd say we stay foraging.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Wolfgang, what would you like to do?
I mean, I think that Wolfgang would continue to forage as well as we go.
Okay. Momo?
Would you like a survival?
I would.
I think Momo's gonna keep her eyes open for interesting objects and things.
Perception.
We can't all get a nat 20 all the time.
Yeah, well, you know.
You find along your path patches of wild onions, which you can gather up. Enough to get something like 4 pounds of fist-sized or smaller onions. More like palm-sized onions. 4 pounds, I think.
I'll grab those.
Yep. It just involves, you know, getting something like a small knife or a shovel and digging every 2 or 3 minutes. You have to stop for a couple of seconds to dig something up.
I'll just use my large hands.
Okay. I'll buy that. Momo, you notice that occasionally there is a wolf not exactly following you, but you seem to have entered wolf territory. So throughout the day, 8 hours of travel, you spot 4 of them.
We're in wolf country now.
Cayso, you also notice the wolves, and you know, because you got a fairly high survival rating, you notice that one of the wolves is almost encountered by a butterfly, and the wolf snatches it out of the air and eats it. There is a very real disdain. Like, if a wolf could be said to have emotions, this thing did not like that butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
This was not an act of eating for eating's sake. It was eliminating an annoyance.
Does this seem like a different wolf than the one that
Yes.
was watching us? Okay.
Yep.
How so? How are they different?
Slightly larger. Same kind of grayish fur coloring that you would expect from an older timber wolf.
Okay.
It does seem it's bigger and male, but it also does seem to be aged and maybe a little bit slower. Powerful still, but
Are they tracking us or and
so you only notice the one wolf as part of the cinematic you get for your good roll.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know if it's tracking you? No.
Yeah.
You merely go through its territory, and it gives you a wide berth in the process.
Okay. All right.
All right. As you reach the end of the day's journey, we will take our break.
Sounds good.
We'll take like a 7-8 minute break. We'll be back for the third. Ooh.
Third.
I had a whole week to come up with this, and I failed to do so. I apologize. But we'll be back.
For the conclusion.
Oh, conclusion. That's so good. You paid for your whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge of it.
Oh.
You also didn't pay for the seat, but okay.
Twitch Prime. It's free.
Twitch Prime. Patreon.com/APGamingREAL. Did you know only about 40% of people are subscribed to me on YouTube and have clicked the bell? What if you subscribed and clicked the bell, increasing that notification rating?
That's right.